Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is MrHurriicane, and today I am introducing the new streaming series I'll be doing here on the channel that's going to be starting today. As I mentioned before the fantasy franchise came to an end, I wanted to try a rebuild franchise. A series where we mainly simulate and work on building the team and playing mainly as the GM, constructing the roster and getting all the pieces in place. A lot of people have enjoyed content like this on Madden 17. I wanted to take this concept, make it fit what I like to do on Madden and fit my channel, and make it a streaming series that is interactive and also kind of laid back where we can be a little bit more conversational and see how things play out with the team while obviously controlling the roster and the direction the team is headed in. Now, I don't expect this series to be for everybody, but I do want to try it out and see if it's something I can build upon and keep on the channel maybe in the future. So I wanted to kind of demonstrate what I want from this series in this video. So I made an example franchise here with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the team I'll be using will be decided by you, and there is a poll in the upper right hand corner of your screen. You can pick the team that I'll be using in this series. Your options are the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, and the Tennessee Titans. I plan on using the official rosters, not the updated ones from the Madden share with rookies and free agent moves, because I'm worried about contracts and players being at right positions and everything being correct. I think I'll just roll with the official rosters, and once we get going, we'll be into a first draft before too long, I'm sure, so not going to be a big deal there. But what I want from this series is basically to control the team like you do as an owner in franchise. You sell the prices here, try to make your money so that you can afford free agents, afford giving out signing bonuses and stadium upgrades. Now, we're going to be simulating a lot of games in this series. I don't plan on playing. This is not about my skill at playing the game. It's about being the GM and the players mattering, of course. Some may not enjoy that aspect of it, but I want to try something different. I mean, I see a lot of people enjoy games like out of the park baseball where you're just controlling the team and it's a baseball sim. I think you have a little bit more in-game control than you could in Madden in that regard, so we'll just have to see how things go in here. But I want to obviously move quickly through this series while going through every week and taking a look at how the team did, how our players are doing. Are we selling tickets? Are we selling merch and concessions? It's not going to be just sim a whole season, go draft and rinse, repeat until we win a Super Bowl. I want this to be a team that we actually get to know a little bit. I'll be focused on things like building up the practice squad and developing those young players, and likely using the XP sliders that everybody seems to be using from Operation Sports. We want to go through, check the box scores, see how players are doing, shake up the depth chart at times. And of course, I'm going to be going through and re-signing free agents. And it could be really interesting if we go deep in this series, because they'll really test my ability to manage the cap well and not just worrying about the near future, but playing perhaps the long game here. I'm not sure how long a series like this will go. It'll depend on my interest and your interest. If we win a Super Bowl, the series doesn't necessarily have to be over, but that's ultimately the goal, to go win a Super Bowl. We're going to be doing scouting every week, of course, and trying to craft the right draft plan so we can increase the ability of this roster. The draft is going to be very important, as is free agency, depending on if good free agents hit the market and we have the money to get them. We'll be checking on the league stories every week, seeing what's going on around our league, along with the draft stories that can be helpful in finding the key players to check out in the draft. When it comes to the possibility of trading, I'm going to treat it like I normally do, and I'm not going to try to game the system at all or just try to give away all these players so we can go get like the young rookies that might not be as highly rated but have a ton of potential. I want to approach the team building aspect of this like I normally would. I'm just going to be the GM instead of being everything to the team. I want the players to really matter, and for this to be a very rapid series that we get through pretty quickly as far as the week-to-week action goes. So, how do you keep a series like this interesting? That's something I've definitely wondered, because I'm not trying to just do a one-off stream and just spend 45 minutes to an hour with the team. I want to actually kind of make a series out of this and see if we enjoy it. Am I going to be handing out $30 million to fullbacks? Who knows? Maybe we'll see. DeMarco is a pretty good fullback. But when it comes to actually getting to know this team and get a feel for the roster, I do think it's important to spend some time in a handful of games, like these big rivalry matchups. We have Falcons and Saints right here. This is what I plan on doing, simulating most of the games, but if there's like a playoff game we get into or a really key game during the season, we need to spend some time during it. May not be the entire game, we might still simulate a whole lot of it, but maybe you can play the moments, but sit back and see how the team performs. So here's an example of what I'm talking about here as we load up the Saints and Falcons matchup. Just do some simming here and see how the game kind of unfolds and what situation this ends up being as the Saints go up and get a score. And we try to come back and answer as Devontae Freeman runs down, and we end up stalling here as Donnell Ellerbe knocks away a third down pass. But you want to actually get into the game every now and then and see some of these players actually evaluate the roster a little bit. So we can go into the slow sim mode here in broadcast cam and get a feel for the actual team and see them play a bit as Matt Ryan finds Jacob Tamme here and they get a first down. And then handing off to Devontae Freeman as he bounces this to the outside and uses that quickness and speed to get down to the 25. It's a fun way to actually evaluate the roster and not just have to worry about, did I pick the right hole as a player? Did I make the right decision? You know, just kind of evaluate the players. I like when they're the star of the show. I mean, that's how I have always looked at these sports games. I want the players to matter a whole lot more than I do, and that's sometimes difficult in football because the quarterback controls are so vital. So I've always loved the idea of having control over the team and building things, but having the team really drive everything in whatever direction it may go. So this is going to be a very different kind of series for me, but it's one that I've definitely wanted to try. That was a pretty sick touchdown by Devontae Freeman there on a play that never worked a few years ago. But we end up losing this game. I'll probably be doing 12-minute quarters when I sim this. I had like 109 plays or so. And I think that 12-minute quarters might give us a pretty good sim number because sim stats I think are very important for a series like this. We'll be doing a lot of box score scouting in Madden, which maybe is okay for the game. Those stats, of course, are how you get the XP to upgrade the players in the first place, so stats are very important to a series like this. And hopefully we find some interesting players to build around. There were a couple in this test franchise, like Taquan Hargrove here and that receiver earlier from Auburn. I always find the most ridiculous prospects in these franchises I'm not actually going to be using. So as I've laid out this series, I do think it can be a lot of fun. I do want to keep it laid back, conversational, answer a lot of your questions. We can talk about the actual NFL and what's going on at the same time while we sim and go through things. I'd like to know what you think of this idea. And if you want to join me for the stream tonight, I plan to be streaming this at 4 p.m. Central Time. So a few hours after this should be on my channel. And then it'll be on my channel when it is processed and finished. Once again, vote on my team in that upper right-hand corner. The poll is there. I picked teams that would be fun to rebuild and might not be the biggest rebuilds out there, but are at least like in some tough divisions. We'll see some tough opposition. And once again, that's Eagles, Titans, Dolphins, and Lions. So go vote there and let me know what you think down below in the comments section. A couple more things I wanted to touch on. First, I do plan on keeping my streaming here on YouTube for at least the near future. I did ask on Twitter a couple weeks ago, what did you think about me going back to Twitch? Does it make any difference to you? And some think Twitch is better, some prefer just things on YouTube. They like the player and whatnot. I like the idea of already having the subscribers here on the channel and you guys getting the notifications if you want them, and being able to easily get the streams going and get the people there that want to watch it. Whereas Twitch, I have less of a following and I usually have to bring people from YouTube to there. I do like the idea of being on another platform, and I may make the switch at some point, but for now I will stay on YouTube. I'm looking to stream this series at least once a week, maybe more, and streams will last about an hour to an hour and a half, I would say. So I have no idea how far we could get through each episode. I'm sure there are going to be ones that go through a lot more progress than others, depending on if we jump into any games and how those end up going. But I think that that's enough time to put a big dent in the progress with the team. With these series, you always want to move quickly and get to the fun stuff like the draft and trying to make it to the Super Bowl, but if you don't know the team, it's hard to be really into it, I feel. That's why I've taken time in my Twins franchise to make sure we get to know the roster and spend a lot of time focusing on different players. I've enjoyed all the episodes so far in that series. So I think some of that has definitely inspired this, also partially inspired by my Vikings franchise on my second channel. And I'm just continuing to evolve these ideas and see where they go, because eventually I'll find something pretty cool, I think. But this is something pretty new to my channel, so leave your feedback down below on anything that you want to say about the idea. And that is going to do it for today. So once again, link to the stream down below in the comment section. Join me there at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And we will get going here with the rebuild franchise of what team I do not know yet. But I'll find out. I'll probably check the votes around an hour before the stream, and then I'll announce on Twitter what the team is going to be. And this is just the first decision I want to give the viewers some control over. I'll probably end up making most of the decisions, but if there is one where I could go either way, or if I just want to give you guys the control, then I'll figure out how to make a poll probably on Twitter. Might be the easiest way to get that done. But we'll get to that. We'll get there when we get there, basically. That's going to do it for this video, everybody. Hope you are looking forward to the stream series. It will be streamed live. All the episodes will be streamed and then on my channel as a video for you to watch. I will see you with the stream when it begins later today. Thank you all for watching. Looking forward to your feedback, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.